Ghost of Tsushima is a game I didn't go into expecting much. I had seen some trailers pre-release and thought it looked visually stunning, but beyond that, I wasn't all that keen. Over the years, I've learned that a game simply looking good in a trailer rarely accounts for much when it comes to the actual game. And between that and the last few years of utter disappointments, or games I had high expectations for turning out to be pretty average, I had little knowledge of and basically no expectations of the game heading into it. This turned out to be the best possible outcome.
Warriors of Tsushima! Today we defeat Cotton Khan! Retake Castle Shimura!
One of the first things I commend about this game is the lack of modern industry cancer. Outside of a pre-order bonus skin, there was no DLC whatsoever for this game. No cash shop, no loot boxes, no season pass, no microtransactions. It pretty much spits in the face of modern AAA gaming. That on its own has put it well above pretty much every big budget game this generation on merit alone, and we haven't even left the main menu yet. And as an added dab on the modern practices, while playing through this game, a completely free multiplayer expansion was announced for all owners of the game. Without even starting the game, I could end this video here and call it Game of the Year, but I may as well rant on about the actual game. This is where Ghost of Tsushima legitimately blew me away. Right off the bat, this game looks absolutely stunning. How this ran on a base PS4 as well as this game did when I was playing it is astonishing. Every aspect of this game looks incredible, and it's used to an equally gorgeous art style to match. Every single environment in this game is a treat to witness, from the lush green forests, to the golden temples, to the snow-covered tundra, to the oceanside cliffs. A game looking good doesn't always count for much if it doesn't play well, and Ghost of Tsushima has that nailed down completely. The game controls beautifully. Every aspect from the combat, to the navigation, to the stance changes, the ghost weapons, to even the basic things, like fast travel, have all been tailor-made with the idea of an enjoyable or fun user experience. Ghost of Tsushima takes all the best aspects of open world games, ditches all the crap ones, and leaves you with a distilled final game which pretty much perfects the open world formula, and quite honestly will be from now on my golden standard for comparison. Some examples of this include things like the fast travel mechanic, which is quite literally a fast travel. You pick a spot to travel to and boom, literally 2 to 3 seconds and it's done. Things like horse travel are streamlined in such a way that even with a full platinum playthrough of over 50 hours, it still never got old. There's nothing complicated about it, it's literally just whistle to summon your horse and go. Simple little things like this that usually grow tiresome in other open world games simply don't in Ghost of Tsushima. Little things like shrines, which can be long and complicated puzzles, allow you to simply go back a few meters from the top and instantly resume your game from the start of the shrine. While other games may pad out their playtime with extensive collectibles, Ghost of Tsushima makes this experience enjoyable and not monotonous, and has helpful hints such as the local animals pointing you to points of interest, which makes collecting things a rewarding and enjoyable endeavour, as opposed to a boring, busy work like other open world games. Basic gameplay aspects aside, Ghost also excels in combat. You're given a choice of stances which you can gradually unlock by defeating enemy commanders, each with their own strong point and use against specific types of enemies, but it also lets you experiment with your own playstyle. There's nothing that stops you from using the incorrect stance on a certain enemy, and I even found myself later on as I got more proficient, breaking enemy stances with the correct stance and then switching stances on the fly for a more deadly combo. You can go as deep as you want with the combat in this game. It's even possible to start air juggling enemies and pulling sick combos if you're so inclined. You can either initiate combat with enemies via a stealthy approach, or you can be an honourable samurai and quite literally challenge them to a duel, which is an immensely satisfying mechanic to master, and still felt great to successfully pull off even after I'd beaten the game.
Bastard traitors!
The game subtly builds on this in a really satisfying way, the better you get at it, as you'll slowly notice that enemies cower in fear if they witness you pull something crazy off, and will either run for their lives or beg for them. Exploring the island of Tsushima never got old either. Every main story mission will end up taking you to pretty much every part of the island eventually, and the scenery always added a fantastic atmosphere to the current mission. Ghost of Tsushima also had a refreshingly politics-free, agenda-free, bullshit-free story, something I've noticed becoming rarer these days. There's none of that. It's a story about war, honour, duty and survival. It realises what its intention is and it sticks strongly to it. Your playable character, Jin, is torn between his code of honour as a samurai and what he's forced to do as the ghost to save the island.
Run, cowards! Jin, what are you doing?
Clearing the way.
Not like that. Never like that. Face them as a warrior with honor, not a monster.
It's all they understand.
I found it shocking that in a game that doesn't strictly have a morality system, its implementation via gameplay and narrative actually made me give a fuck about a morality choice the game at some point asks you to make. No other game has ever made me actually stop and think about the outcome, as usually it's a clear black and white, good or bad choice.
Whatever you believe I've become, I will always be your family.
I've harped on about the gameplay and visuals, but another key aspect in a memorable game is the music. By this point, it should be no surprise, it's a home run in this department too.
Back down! Fight!
The battle tracks have a distinctly Japanese vibe, naturally, and they flow perfectly with the game. And the set pieces really get you immersed in the game when the gameplay and music intersect in a few big key moments. There's quite a few instances in the game, but one in particular stood out to me. The soundtrack for when you unlock the ghost stance.
The ghost! Khotun will reward me for your head! Ay, Takumban! Ghost stomach hamkalash!
Invaders! Look at your general! Run! This will be your fate! People of Yarikawa, hunt every Mongol to the last man! Spare no one! For Yarikawa! Yarikawa! Keep after them! No mercy! Kill them all! Cut them down! Take their heads! Everyone to the gate! Push through! For the ghost! Push them back!
That moment of gameplay and soundtrack was so disgustingly good that after completing that mission I legitimately reloaded a save from about an hour prior and did it again. I could legitimately talk about this game for hours. The entire thing blindsided me. For a game I gave little thought to pre-release and picked up just because, I ended up wanting more after I platinumed it. No other open world game has ever kept me 100% interested from start to finish. Not only did Ghost do that with absolute ease, it's left me wanting more. I can't say that for any other AAA game released this generation. Every once in a great while, a game comes along that realises what it means to be a video game, what you can achieve in this particular medium, how you can use it to its full potential, and executes it absolutely flawlessly.
You have no honor, and you are a slave to it.
I say with absolutely no hesitation that Ghost of Tsushima is the AAA game of the generation bar none, and it's absolutely no contest. If you have a PS4, you absolutely need to play this game.